Omar, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I have just as usual. What we will do, I will start with our daily COVID-19 update.
Yes.
Then we go for your lighting. For some reason, is gone. Um, it's not very clear now, but it was very bright. Okay, so guys, thank you once again for joining us. Um, yeah. Last week your lighting was very good.
Let me come back again.
Yeah, so we this is our daily COVID-19 update, but we know behind after the pandemic, there are a lot of other issues, that already is affecting our daily life, and one of that is education. Right now, Gambia all schools are closed for at least now almost close to 2 months, and now they have another 45 days. Um, another 45 days extension to state of emergency. That means kids will not be going to school for at least another 45 days. Even though right now what the Ministry of Education is saying is going to be until further notice. Nobody knows when that's going to be. So this is going to have some really impact on the education of these kids at the primary up to university level. So, but before that, as we do, we will read out the numbers to you, how many people are infected so far, and the death rate and all that in English and Mandinka. Then we start the next topic. And also, these broadcasts might be disrupted by somebody from the Gambia. We need an update. As you know, this fish meal factory is supposed to be closed, but all of a sudden they are open again, and we received a letter to that effect. But the news we are getting from the ground now is that actually that was a mistake. It was not meant for the fish meal factories. It was meant for fish landing sites. So what I heard so far, I cannot be independently verify this. I have to make this clear that the paramilitaries were at these factories and advised them to close. But if our representatives on the ground can confirm this, we will come back to you and give you update. He will come live actually. So far so good. Since this pandemic started in China in December 2019, so far 1,576,077 people are infected. 93,565 75 succumbs to the virus, they died, and 348,188 recovered from the virus. And right now, 1,134,314 people are infected. Out of that, 1,085,461 are mild condition, and 48,853 are seriously or critically ill as a result of COVID-19 infection. So quickly in Mandinka, I'm coming for Kabiri in Kurang start December karo kono China Wuhan Bangkok. More min nanka mo yalon koy virus o soto saya be more million killing, more wuli kemelulu, wuli taw woro wala ni woro, mo taw woro ni woro la. Mo taw woro wala ni woro wala ole kurang nin so. Wol kono mo tang wuli tang konon to nin saba mo kemelulu taw woro wala ni lulu wol fatale. Mo wuli keme saba mo tan wuli tan nan nin sey mo keme tan senin sey wol kende atale dale wol bula lockdown wol virus man to balo kon sai yo sai ben tolo min to virus be mo min nanga mo balo kon abe mo million killing mo wuli keme mo wuli tan saba keme saba anin tan nani yo wol kono mini alon ko ila kuran nyin aman serious ba ka fa mild condition wollom ñenti mina alon koye flu like symptom o so de ko ke timi domandi ka to nyin ka continue bi ka fembondi yo balo fanan ka kandi wobe mo million killing wuli tan seyni lulu mo kemenani keme woro nin killing yo mo wuli tan nanin sey mo keme sey tallul nin saba wolle be serious condition wolbe be dami sulata intensive care be dola fo ya sodol fe ma sodo ba wolbe dami sulata ma koy rola le loptano to ka fonyo dila ke ma koy ke la mandi bar wolbe dami bika henda me fon e from at this moment. Yo, next I will read out to the 10 top most affected countries in the world, and these 10 countries by Iran, they all form world top 20 nations in the world. Past 24 hours, America have 19,688 new cases. They registered 1,286. These close to 2,000. In fact, the overall figures. Spain have 4,226 new cases, and they have 446 dead. And Italy have 4,204 and 610 dead. And France have 4,799 new cases and 1,341 dead. Germany have 1,808 new cases, 82 dead, and China have 63 new cases, 2 dead. Iran have 1,635 new cases past 24 hours, and they have 101 dead. England, UK, the numbers are not yet out, but they have so far 7,097 dead so far. Turkey have 4,056 new cases and 96 dead. Belgium have 1,580 new cases and they have 283 dead. Switzerland have 766 new cases and 53 deaths, and Netherlands have 1,213 new cases and 148 dead. So Mandinka quickly, mantaro wati mwanni nani tambila wol nomba sol mini alon ko nyin courant so ani momi nanga mo fata nyin banko tangol to mini alon ko courant lo ko tay wolle la baake abol kono america mo wuli tan nin konon to mo keme woro tan sey nin sey wole courant min so mo wuli kilin keme fula tan sey ni woro woli wolle fata yo spain mo wuli nani keme fula ani mwanni woro wole courant nyin soto excuse me guys mo kemenani tan nani woro fata yo italy mo wuli nani keme fula anin nani wole courant nyin soto past in 24 hours min tambita mo keme woro anin tang fata france mo wuli nani keme woro wala tan kononto nin kononto wole courant nyin soto nyin 24 hours min tambita mo wuli killing keme saba anin tan nanin killing wolle wolle fata yo germany mo wuli killing keme sey anin mo sey wole courant nyin soto mo tan sey nin fula fata china mo taworo nin saba wole courant nyin soto mo fula fata iran mo wuli killing keme woro tan saba nin nani wole courant nyin soto mo keme tanni woro wala fata England, itolla numbers nyolman na follow. At least as far as this website is concerned, but it's already out. So far, kabirin kurang yin start mo wuli waro da mo tang waro la means waro la wale fata angal ter. Yo toki da banko ka mo wuli nani tallu ni waro wale kurang yin soto. Mo taw waro la ni tan kononto ni woro fata belgium mo wuli kilin mo keme lulu anin tan se wale courant nyin sodo mo keme fula town se nin saba fata switzerland mo keme worola taw worola ni worola wale courant nyin sodo past 24 hours mo tallul nin saba fata netherlands holland mo wuli kilin keme fula anin tan nin sa wale courant nyin sodo mo keme tan nanin sey fata canada mo wuli killing keme fula anin tallo nin fula le courant nin soto mo taworo nin mo taworo la nin saba fata so ngole sotale bi science dum programme o nin ko yo na topic o bi wolom nyenti fenko COVID-19, the state of emergency and their effects on the Gambia educational system. You know, as I said during my brief introduction, the schools are closed now for more than a month, and they might be closed for another 45 days and might be even more. So the effect of this, we're going to discuss. Omar is my guest, Omar Saho. Just as we do it yesterday, we take questions as they come. But today, we're going to do it like this. Last 10 minutes, we'll dedicate that to questions. Or if you have a question, just type it, underneath here. Then we will try to answer it to the best of our knowledge at the end of the program. Omar, welcome to the program and brief introduction of yourself, and we can go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Manjang, for bringing me to the program today. It is my pleasure to come down today and say I'm a little bit understanding about the whole COVID-19 and then the state of emergency in the Gambia. Together, both of us are going to strategize the way forward. What will be the policy recommendations, and what do we think Gambia as a country need to do in addressing the urgency of COVID-19 in the country? Yes. So basically, people might be surprised why I'm so much active about COVID-19. From 2019 to 2020 to 2021, I'm doing a master's program on social policy and management, where right now I am focusing more on social policy from economic dimension, the social dimension, the environmental dimension, looking at the intersectionality between these three disciplines, social, economic, and environment. So that's my second master's program focused on the United States here. So that's why people who are surprised, why is Omar active more about COVID-19, the social issues, policy recommendation. This is my
Yeah.
second master's focusing on.
Thank you very much, Omar. Yes, schools are closed and kids are now at school. I understand Minister of Basic Education, they started an e-learning program, for kids. But considering our socioeconomic status, access to high-speed internet, and also regular electric supply. So I don't know how this is going to help, the entire population of the country. It might work for some extent. But what are your take on this?
Well, I think what the government should have done is they should have run a trial version to look at how effective that program is going to be. Because right now, you just come with a program. You say, okay, you know what, we're going to have teaching programs on the national TV and also on the radios, whereby every kid or every household can tune into those radios and also the TV channels to be able to listen to some of the lecture materials for those in the elementary primary school, those in the senior high school. They provide some of those, subject, the course subject for students to listen to those ones, at least provide that stimulation, that virtual classroom for these people. But I think before they run that one, they're supposed to have come with a pilot project, evaluate that pilot project, monitor the pilot project, and look at the impact that pilot project was have on the students. Because this is the first time ever in my lifetime whereby Gambia as a country run a virtual classroom and online classroom program for people in the junior high school, senior high school. But what we fail to understand is the inequality, the wealth gap, the income gap for various students here. People who need emotional support. How many households in the Gambia have a laptop? How many students in the Gambia in junior high school have a laptop? How many students in senior high school have a laptop? Even those doing the undergraduate program, the bachelor's program, how many of those ones have laptops at home? How many of those ones have like a high-speed internet? And how many of those people also have like reliable electricity to support them during the classroom time? And how many of these households can be able to at least pay for their electricity bill to make sure at least they have like gas power to run their TVs during the classroom session? If the class are recorded, how many of these people can afford at least a megabyte, something megabyte for their cell phones, for their laptop, to be able to download those classrooms online and listen to them, live stream them, and be able to have access to this classroom program? All of these things are supposed to be like tailored in a pilot program, a pilot project, and Ministry of Education in the Gambia, Ministry of Higher Education in the Gambia can run that pilot test. Yeah, look at what are the pros and cons, what are some of the challenges, what are some of the success, and see how they can streamline and then come up with some new recommendations to strengthen that particular program before they implement the program for students to come and listen to that online classroom programs. Because if you talk about, yes, we're going to have at least a nationwide program now. It's going to be a new program because of COVID-19. We want to reduce the contraction of COVID-19 among students in the classroom because it's a public area. We need to look at how many students in the country have laptops, how many students in the country have laptops, how many students in the country have households. Most of the Gambian people come from extended family systems. How many of those extended families have 2 or more laptops in at their households? If not everyone have that one, how many of these households have TVs? People who are attending different schools, like those in the madrasas, those in the formal education system. How do we make sure there's a balance here? How about students who need emotional support? How about students who need counseling? How about students who cannot concentrate in class? How do we make sure at least we care for all these people? This is what's supposed to be involved in the pilot project. This is where they're supposed to run the trial version of the online classes. And then next, so we look at the issue of inequality. We look at the issue of people who need emotional support. We look at the issue of electricity. We look at the issue of like internet access for the people.
Yeah,
So once
Omar, if you give me 30 seconds to 1 minute, I'll just summarize that to our Mandinka viewers.
yeah.
Pour kala kilo bulandi rek din nata jang kadiyam COVID-19 lela kurang olom pandemic abe mol fakam bari woya tinna lual fanan nata mi alon ka ko moli sidula kilin woya tinna karambul soronta Gambia yo ngaje Gambia ifane online virtual class start pour dinol ka ida course nyum follow through television yo bo umare min suggest wolum nyinti manga kunda nyanta trial le follow kala ye ko nyin jarabi then wo jarabiro ko ne sajibe mo jelle TV soto mo jelle regular electric TV soto yo kabo primary school kada fo university level laptop o be mo jelle level mo jelle se ni laptop o fanam be bulu jelle se data nyin afford no mi alon ka se nyin ko follow no through internet wala ila television on yo anin karamo fanan ambika to karamo damadi modol bije ay problem o soto ila soul kono they need wo support emotional support nim from the teachers wo be wo kela no nyaadi de mino be ko le mi alon ka important dal pour din wala karam kono so wala umar la start ndara ya kuma ta wala
Yes. So once we are able to like get all those things in place through the trial version, through the pilot project, then we can strengthen the education system. The Ministry of Education in the Gambia can answer how do they work with NADA to make sure at least during this crisis time, there's reliable electricity supply for most of the households in the country. And then from there, they can look at all this pilot project of like, the different regions in the country in terms of like region 1, region 2, region 3, region 4, all the way down to like, CRR, URR. How do we ensure that all the students in those areas are able to follow this learning program? How do we ensure at least all the students, because most of them will be like, in different topics, in different syllabus at this particular moment in time, because we have to realize that, not all schools in the Gambia are on the same page in terms of their syllabus. Not all the schools in the Gambia are on the same page in terms of the topic. How do we ensure the topics that are going to be featured in national TV is able to cater for at least most of the people in the country, in the Gambia? Once they're able to have all those things, on the white paper, on their strategies, from there they can be able to at least move on with the real implementation of the online virtual classes for the Gambian people. And how can they work with GSM companies in the country, like Apicel, Gamcell, Comium, and as well as the QCell, to ensure at least all these people are able to provide at least a discount price for most of the students. Students can subscribe to at least a special project or special program with the GSM companies, whereby they can set up hotspots for them or broadband wireless for these people to be able to land during this, during this crisis time. Because all of these things need to be put into perspective. Yes, not all the telecoms companies in the Gambia are owned by the government. Some of them are like private companies. How do we establish partnership with them? How do we ensure they also stick to their business objective or their own mission statement? How do we ensure they're also able to at least provide something as their corporate social responsibility to be able to support the students in the Gambia during this crisis time? How do we ensure people who have learning difficulty, people who have like hearing difficulty, people who have like vision difficulty are all able to at least have something here, are able to have something here? People who have like at least issues at home, because some of the students at home, they have distraction. Some of them, they'll be at home watching the TV. Their moms are going to send them, their brothers are going to send them. Somebody might distract them. How do we ensure at least we conduct an evaluation that what he have implemented during these 2-3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months time was able to at least have an outcome? What is the impact of that? How many students is able to pass their exams after the online exam, the online classes? How do we ensure people who do not have laptop, at least we can borrow them, we can loan laptops to them? Because in the US here, what the college and universities are doing is, if you don't have your own personal laptop, your own personal PC, Libraries have good standing laptops that you can go down there, solely your student ID. They're gonna borrow you the laptop for 2 months, 1 month. You can use that laptop. Telecom companies like AT&T in America offer them like special projects, special packages for students who are gonna stay at home. Because even in America, it doesn't mean everybody has a laptop at home. More especially in a developing country like the Gambia, not everybody has a laptop. How do we care for those people? How do we care about students who are doing their grade 6 and they're supposed to move down to grade 9? How do we ensure people who are going to move from grade 9 to grade 10 are able to also fit into the program? How do we ensure people who are in the grade 12 on their final exams, we ensure that at least we cater for their preparations? We cater for their what we call curriculum review for these people. How do we ensure those who are doing their bachelor's program in University of the Gambia on their final year, we can ensure at least they have that mentoring for their bachelor's program, or those who are in their master's degree, and so at least we care for them. If you talk about social distancing, I think people who are in the grade 6, who are in the grade 9, people who are in grade 12, and people who are doing their final programs will at least ensure what sort of package do we have for these people. Within these 2 weeks, within this 45 days of state of emergency, how do we ensure those people, they continue on with their curriculum review, or with their revisions, or with the rest of with the remaining program of their topics that they need to discuss before they start onto the exams? People who have paid for their tuition fee, how do we ensure? Are we going to reimburse them? Are we going to have special study class for these people? And are we going to be able to account them for the remaining 2-3 weeks that they have not even done during the first state of emergency? What sort of program are we going to have for these people who are going to sit down at home within these 45 days?
Yeah, Omar, let me briefly, 30 seconds. Yeah, basically what Omar is saying is this. This is, okay, I've got Mustafa. So, guys, we're going to disrupt this program for a little bit. This is part of the program. We have Mustafa from the Gambia. We have problem with these piecemeal factories, and Mustafa is going to give us update. Mustafa, thank you very much for your time. And after your update, it's entirely up
Yes,
to you if you want to stay on. But you can drop after your update and you can watch it on that. Thank you very much. What is the update? We have seen it later. It's very distressing because we know all essential services are supposed to stop, and that includes fish meal because that's not an essential service. Even though we need fish on our table for our dinner, that's not a problem. But why are these later? And what is the latest on the ground? I know you've been running everywhere from Sanya to Khartoum to Kyiv. What is the latest?
thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you so much, Omar. Yes, it's a pleasure being here. The update is the letter from the ministry is nothing but insulting. Yesterday, it came to our attention that the factory in Sanyang was operating, and the factory in Gunjur also was about to operate. So that prompts us to um, or that forced us to make a quick move to the police station, which Samika Janet did. But sadly, the police station, the factory were able to um, tender a document which was from the Ministry of Fisheries, dated on the 7th, allowing them to continue operation, but they should limit their staffs, which is impossible, understanding the nature of the fish meal factories. Again, the saddest part is yesterday there were a lot of people from the ministry, including the so-called fishing men who were going around Sanyang, Gunjur, and Katong, trying to convince the people that itself is a public gathering, because the ministry was gathering with these people to try to convince the people about this like to allow the factories to operate, because they said they are they have abundance of fish which is not used by the factory. So right now the situation is the Ministry of Health, according to them, because I received a message from them, from a senior officer from the Ministry of Health, saying that they have sent military personnel to go and shut down the factory in Sanya and the factory in Gunjur, which is a great news. But I am yet to confirm from my source at the factory that the military are already there, because since 1 o'clock in the Gambian time, the military was deployed to make sure that this factory stop operating, which is a good news. So it seems like things are now taken seriously, because you also, if you go to Twitter, the executive director of the National Youth Council also made it very clear there that this state of emergency should not exempt any other factory. So meaning or fishmeal factory cannot be above the law. Meaning, when we said nation of emergency, it should apply for them too. If people are going, or if people are staying home, not working, and they are Gambians, they are starving at home, why will they allow investors in the Gambia to continue operation? So that is it. But again, we are smelling some footsteps, Ahmed, and there are so many issues that will be uncovered on due time, because it seems like the Minister of Fisheries are hiding things from the people. Why are they always in the front line? Why are they always against the Gambian people? Why are they always allowing the foreign investors to continue operation? What is the motive behind it? This is what we are trying to find out. And anytime we find it, we will let the public know about it.
Yeah, that's brilliant, and that sounds good. And also, first, I want to tell you, we are grateful for your effort. You guys are doing a fantastic job, because as soon as I have it, I made a tweet, and I found Omar already tweeted already, and we all tweeted direct to the Ministry of Health and also to the President Office. So now we have the facility of the social media to make real impact. We cannot relent. We should capitalize on this, because it smells corruption, to be honest with you. Might be money change hands, nobody know, but this smells corruption. And Banja, he wrote it in such a way that he's not very clear. I had another news that might be he said he directed this to fish landing site, not actually the factory. But if you look at properly, he's talking about this factory. And how come the factories have it? So when you went to the police, when Jane went to the police, is that where the letter surfaced?
Yes, that is where the letter surfaced, because the factory was quick enough to produce the letter. So this is the issue. And the saddest part is, I am just talking from an insider at Kadam Fish Mill Factory, who told me that their factory owner named Yaya declined or deny these people from allowing his fish mill factory to operate. Because he said that Yaya said they cannot operate. And that's the main. And yesterday they were in Katong trying to convince people that they should operate. But the Katong factory is still closed down, and no one is working there. But I don't know how comes they were able to convince other people. But like the fish mill factory is already closed for themselves. No one advised them to close. When they know that this issue is coming, they close. So government pushing them to operate is something that I cannot understand.
Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah, Mustafa, thank you very much for that update. And might be Umar want to say, then we can let you go if you want. Umar, do you have anything?
All right.
Well, I think all this mess we are experiencing in the Gambia is not about the fish mill factories. Okay, one thing is the fish mill factories, but the main thing is the policies. What kind of policies do we have in the Gambia? How do we enforce those policies? How do we implement those policies? Who are the people who is implementing those policies, and who are the people who are evaluating, assessing these people who are also implementing the policies? If you look at the Ministry of Fisheries, they are the main overseer. They are the one who have the national mandate to be able to give license to fish mill factories. They are the one who give licenses to boats for them to go into the fishing boats. Yeah. At this crucial time during COVID-19, the Ministry of Fisheries, if they say we don't want any fishing activity in Gunjur, in Kato, in Sanya, in Tujara, in Bakawo, in Batakunku, in Banjul, nobody's gonna do it. They can come up with like strategies. How many boats can they allow per day to go into the fishing? So the fish mill factory in Sanya, in Gunjur, in Katong are not going to go into operation if they don't have the green light for the Ministry of Fisheries. So what vested interest does the Ministry of Fisheries have for these people to operate above the Gambian own citizens, their own citizens, in terms of their health concerns? How do we ensure we implement those programs? How much amount of money is this fish mill factories pumping into our economy, into our GDP? Gambian people have to know about all this kind of information. How much do we have operational license fees? How many Gambians are employed down? If you're talking about self-employed and you're talking about
Yeah.
the
Omar,
Gambian government has to look at happens.
Mustafa want some.
Umar,
Yes.
about how contribute economy. Absolutely. Like I can say, they are not contribute anything to our Gambian economy. Umar, believe me, most of these fishing boats that are coming from Senegal are not paying any tax to Gambian government. Again, most of these factories in the Gambia here, including the fish meal factories, many of the fish meal factories, the government have waived. They gave them a package. Many of them are not paying taxes. There are some percentage of the taxes they don't pay that. It went up to five taxes that the government waived because the government are with the belief that they are employing government youths, and that's why they gave them that opportunity. But sadly, Omar, Gambians are not employed at this fish meal factory.
No, the reality is I'm from a coastal community, just like Ahmed, just like yourself. Way back 5 years ago, 7 years ago, it is our own Gambian people who have get progressive business in Gunjur, in Kano, in Sanya. They were able to smoke the fish. They were able to have trucks. They were able to make people who make the boxes, and they are able to have people who will transport the smoke fish to other part of the country, in the URR, in the Central River region, in the upper region of the country. They were able to provide food and food sustainable in the Gambia. This is like more sustainable. Christian brothers in Gambia, they were able to self-organize themselves. They were able to manage. There was selective catch because they don't know what type of fish species do we want to catch. There was sustainable harvesting of fish resources in the Gambia compared to now. Right now, we have industrial fleets in the Gambian water. How do we ensure we regulate that one? How do we ensure we impose the Gambian laws? How do we ensure we empower the additional fishing industry in the Gambia, which is owned locally by the Gambian people? If there's a bumper harvest of fish in the Gambia, how do we ensure we store those in our own fishing centers in the Gambia? How do we ensure there's transportation in the Gambia to be able to supply the interland of the country, those in the provincial part of the country? We need to think about how do we ensure the fish harvest in Gunjur, in Bakau, in Sanya, all part of the country is able to trickle down to the poor people, to improvise families. How do we ensure there's affordability of fish in the Gambia? We need to empower our own local people. We need to empower those in the business centers in the Gambia are self-organized. This is what's supposed to be the operational tactic of the government.
Yeah.
Yes,
So, guys,
investors, but it's supposed not to be at the expense of our Gambian people.
thank you all very much, Omar. This just an update we have that. So tomorrow this should form our main discussions. So Mustafa, thank you very much for that update. If you have time tomorrow, this will be our main topic of discussions. We really appreciate your time. So we'll spend the next 10 minutes and um, we'll spend the next 10 minutes continue with our effect of this COVID-19 on education system in the Gambia. Tomorrow is going to be mainly on about this, livelihoods, and this fiscal issue will come in. We hope by that time, um, we hope by that time, we hope by actually is done about it. Sorry. Yes. Mustafa, I'm having problem with your microphone. Sorry, Omar, you can continue where you left off. And
Yes, what I'm saying is like, yes, even the people who are employed in this fiscal practice, they're own Gambian people, but we should not compromise their health, their own safety, and their own security, because if they have COVID-19, they're going to put everybody at risk in the country. At this particular moment, all the countries around the world, both, in the West, in the global West, and in the global South, they are making, tremendous effort to see how best they can reduce the impact of COVID-19 on their economy and on the life of their own citizens. This is supposed to be the priority of every average Gambians. How do we ensure that our Gambian people are safe? They do not have COVID-19. How do we ensure the small number we have in the country, the 4 number of cases we have in the country, we're able to stop that and then level the curve, bring it down. 2 have already recovered, 1 passed away, and still now 1 is on active status. How do we ensure we just keep the curve like that? This is supposed to be the priority of the Gambian government, not to give go ahead to certain kind of corporations for them to resume their operations.
Yeah, so briefly, before you go forward, I will summarize this in Mandinka. What Omar was saying was this: we have issues how this e-learning is going to work. Abe tamala no nyadile in the Gambia. Sako I suggest on fenan komi Ministry of Health nyin try ya ko jarabi foka ya jay walta. Inin yin media houses yon nyanta collaborate la and GSM operators nyon. Isi mako no nyadile puruka might be concession also there for students whereby they have a cheaper rate, special package pour student also sanno nyame pour que la fen ko nyin um, pour que la karango nyin so ndibul yo bara fo fana laptop o komi america bankol mi anke sembo so de la library will be ka laptop also mi alon ko they are good working order ika student will for 1 month 2 months. Gambia finances the same with some these IT companies in the Gambia. Might be a subsidy ya laptop or the fuka this student all. But ni wo man ka be kole ala ba kala kanyim taman di Gambia. Andung student all yol mumunelet. Ya jele dol wol bika diamu dol tulo bike moy so wol be benefit la no nyim ko nyaadi fo ila learning ye mol so dole ba mi ya lon ko wol mu sign language specialist wala min ya lon ko se karam ftandi no nyim mol Omar you can carry.
Yeah.
Thank you Medley.
So apart from looking at the infrastructure of the education system here, based on like laptops or the equipment that they have, based on connectivity, how do we have Wi-Fi? But then how do we also look at the grading system? If you look at grade 9, grade 12, they look at the grading credit system. How many credits do you have? In the US right now, most of the schools are now moving with like pass and fail. You either pass the course or you fail it. You either pass it or you fail it. It's not based on like whether you can have A plus, A minus, B plus, B minus, or B or C, C plus down, you failed for graduate program. But how do we ensure we also assess, we also evaluate our grading system? How do we ensure that all who are going to be from grade 9, they're going to go to grade 10, we ensure it's not based on credit, but they are pass and fail? And how do we ensure we evaluate those and then next sure the teachers who are going to be evaluating these people, they also knew that.
Yeah.
Other than that, also people who are going to be like doing their bachelor's thesis or their bachelor's presentation or their master's thesis, how do we ensure we have a strong system in place for them to be able to like at least do like live streamline for them to do their presentations? These are all things that need to be factored in. And students who have paid for their tuition fee and then they're sitting down at home, how do we ensure we evaluate the curriculum for these students? Because every academic year before the year starts, professors or the teachers have to submit a curriculum that they plan to teach during the entire academic year. If this disruption came, how do we ensure those teachers also reviewed their grading system, their teaching approach, and in the content of their syllabus?
Yeah, quickly, Omar coming for, they are young a problem also actually. Like Minukata grade 12 and Minukata 9. In exam, I think next month long. Minebekela because the syllabus is not complete. If evaluate nanya dile. Ninga taranung like exam wa to sida ning kurang o new emergency hansa in place minebekela. Jar wol bekela nyadi. Minube grade 1 be sambala no 2 nyadi le mo evaluation si fare kela. Minube university fanan higher learning la thesis nyolo. Be evaluate la nyadi le. A problem was here. So I will highlight anything. Mi alon ko ñunu be mu kolleti mi alon ko on sa fay mo be letter ni komi commentator do ya fo nyami this lamin ko for everybody, but these are issues mini alon ko wolle nyanta sign they should form a core of our discussion. Omar, you second.
So basically, I think what both the Ministry of Education in the Gambia, higher education in the country, NAWEC, because all of these things cannot happen without reliable electricity. If you want the professors to communicate or just to communicate with their students, they need to have electricity backed by strong internet access. How do we ensure the Gambia put all of those things as part of our development plan? We talk about the Vision 2020 development plan. Now, what is going to be the target for the new administration right now? In strengthening the connection in the country, internet connection in the country, in strengthening electricity access in the country. At least every Gambian should be able to afford a reliable electricity supply in their country. How do we ensure we boost the earning of our Gambian people in terms of their earning, their salaries, that they can afford to buy essential equipment for their households, things like TV, things like laptop, things like smartphones. Because all of these are important. If you see the global world, the developed countries are developing, it's because they make things like communication so much accessible and affordable for people. They have payment plan for people to be able to afford to buy a smartphone. They have like what they call payment plan for people to be able to buy laptops. How do we ensure we promote that trust? We are able to at least provide a good sufficient pay scale for our civil servants, for our people who work in the public service sector, for people who work in private service sector, to be able to buy some essential services or materials for their own self, for themselves and their own families. These are also very important. How do we ensure we increase the salaries, the pay scale of our own people? How do we ensure that companies in the country, the telecom companies in the country, are able to have some of these corporate social responsibility plans in times of crisis to be able to support our own Gambian citizens? These are also something very important that we need to brainstorm as Gambians. And this is where we need to at least concentrate our efforts on, our dialogues on, our debates on, to be able to at least raise awareness. These are not luxury things. These are basic necessities in life that we cannot live without. So until and unless Gambian people realize that strong communication is very important for our life, strong electricity is very important for our life, reliable electricity is important for our life, affordability is very, very key towards the realization of development goals, we will not be able to like go forward. We need to come together and then think along those lines that in 20th century, in 2020, we'll ensure at least every Gambian is able to afford their electricity bill. Every Gambian, at least every household, should be able to have strong internet access that is affordable, that's reliable, and that's very high speed. It's just 2 million people, 2-point-something million people in a country. How do we ensure we have strong broadbands? How do we ensure we provide at least tariffs for the citizens and also for the companies who are providing this service? How do we ensure we provide tax breaks for them so at least they can also lower the charges that they levy on Gambian citizens? Yes, we want to build our economy. Yes, we want to develop our GDP. But how do we ensure, in as much as we want to realize economic goals, economic gains from this business in the country, but how do we also ensure they also goes down to trickle down to our own citizens? How does government people benefit from these companies in the country?
Yeah, thank you very much. Omar ka min fo ka sudiyandale rek maniga kaŋoto wolom ñanti ko na mansa kunda ñanta feerol landilale because sa ñim mobile phone ol laptop ol ñunu manke ŋañaranti ñunu mu fenneti mi alon ko moɓe ñanta sotolale because komin ɓe ñim probléme o min kono ten tin ñin state of emergency pour karamto dindigol min wiye access soto tole karamola i kamin ke online ñanta ñim bagasol sotola yo bat komi Gambia mo jamaɓe je bulo me koɓen so man sañanta silol landira men ka sa sonendi student ol señin joraŋol sotono ñamin mi ya lon ko asima koye pour señin facilities nol fente ñamin andum abol fanan kono man sañanta sila ye molla jol jibe salary wol because nin saralil mambeteyare multital nodulaɗo yemojo 2 days rek ay taka dontoro ke kote ko no wo nte progress lami so onon kolta min fo ani also internet dunia dawda niyaji be dulal min tata ñaato yalone ko internet high speed internet is wole a be borende kam so fu Gambia invest wola yaje ko mobe access to internet wo internet bikata o ñama ferani courant wala yo na courant do holbi je bari ñante bambal na ñal ko mobe banko be courant sodo andu na sodo do fanan ada idea because ne courant sodo Gambia yalone ko gas palom yemin to de ko le keje and in the middle na bandere ka be kuntula le min is very inconvenient for example ni student will be karamala tendi be lecture ila gas pa banda wala courant ta de yalo mo destruction of tini along go ala implication or whatever so Omar, you can continue. We have 5 minutes and we spend the 10 minutes going through the comments and also questions.
Yes, because the main concern I have was based on my own observation. I'm speaking from the eye perspective. Not every schools in the Gambia have got equipped computer labs. Not every junior high school or senior high school in the Gambia got computer labs. And if they have to rotate that computer lab, so all the classrooms they have in all the schools, how many hours does each classroom have for those computer labs? And what is the opportunity for every student of, like, let's say 30 students, 40 students, 20 something students to have access, to have hands on that practical experience, to be able to know how to operate a computer? How many of those people knows how at least to configure their laptop if they have like a connection issue? How many households in the Gambia are able to have like at least the Wi-Fi data router for them to be able to at least have a stored internet at home? This is supposed to be the things that the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Information Technology in the Gambia need to factor in to ensure that yes, we're gonna have a transition to virtual classrooms for the students in the Gambia who are doing junior high school, senior high school programs in this country here during the COVID-19 pandemic. But do we have the infrastructure? Do we have the connection? Do we have the electricity access and then availability for all the households in the Gambia? How do we ensure students at home who need emotional support, we are able to cater for them? How do we ensure we translate all this, teaching materials into the language that people can understand? How do we ensure we also contact our key stakeholders who are the parents? The parents knows the importance that, what, we are running an online program and your student, Fatu, Binta, Mariam, or Omar need to sit down at home at this number of hours, this time slot, to watch this program that is going to be featured on so and so channel, either QTV or GRTS or on some of the local radios. How do we ensure they can provide, an incentive for the local radio stations in the Gambia to be able to at least air these programs in the local radio stations? These are the things that need to factor in. These are the things that need to be considered. And then before running the program, before implementing the program, we need to know what was the trial version, what was the pilot project of this particular program, what were some of the advantages, what are some of the disadvantages, what were some of the strengths of this program, and then what are some of the shortcomings of this program, and how do we cater for those shortcomings to make sure at least there's a strong evaluation to ensure that at least what we have implemented during the coronavirus crisis, we are able to make an impact on the Gambian students' life, more especially those in grade 9, those in grade 6, those in grade 12 who are going to graduate. How do we, evaluate the curriculum for the students? How do we change or reassess or reevaluate our grading systems for those who are going to graduate from high school, or those who are going to graduate from Oberlin University of the Gambia? For those who do not have TVs in their home, for those who do not have laptops at their home, how are they going to have the opportunity to be able to listen to what we have, taught online? People who have paid their tuition fee, are they going to be reimbursed a particular percentage of what they have paid? Because what they paid was to have in-person lectures, in-person experience, direct contact with their professors, direct contact with their fellow classmates. Right now, it's solo learning. Everybody is going to at least do it by your own self. What about the team working skill? How do we bound those kind of things?
Yeah, thank you very much, Omar. Omar e min fo ka sutiyandale mandi ka kaŋo to wolom ñenti ko school jamaɓe je karamu jamaɓe Gambie man computer labo fon soto yo hani ya soto na class ol ka crowd so much so that maybe na tambita mota tile be te ken ko ñum fon soto la because of they need space yo but hani e computer labo so walla ya access soto to ñin karam but karam to dindin jamale along karam to dindin jamale along ka computer ñin operate ñami so and also ni alum fana ñing programme ila schedule ol be ñaadi le anyanta well publicized la student o be dawda yalo ne ko ni wati kari ñing programme karle be television o to ni wati kari yo aya fu fana ise ni radio local radio fana bulandino programme ni kono no ñaadi le so that niñum programme ol be TV live radio fanan ni se connect no nyaadi de pour min be fa in the country is a sort no nyaadi de bendo ite fenko nyin jolo there will be disadvantage but at least they will show something so ñu mo fengol leti fully evaluate and abolo ko no na school or grading system ila curriculum and everything need to be upgraded. Yeah, Omar, so that's what we have time for today, but we will go through the comments and we talk over them for the next 5 minutes. So first here, I'm not sure if you can see these comments, no?
I'm seeing one for Noah Bojan, na classmate at Gambia High School from grade 10 to grade 12. Noah was at that time the most fastest typer in Gambia High School near GB Computer Karola World Lab. And then people used to envy this guy, you know. But son in the computer lab or Gambia High School in time one from 2005 to 2008, computer lab can never more.
I know.
Me and I go school of bacon on the carrot. Signing online classes. Nteni nuwa and some few other people telephone target and typing what time or karam into la bado ni na wall laji. Money ni yalan ko le ma wall do so because imam access to computer karola wall la. Wole be kala nyaadi le. Nyata sing wala jibe ni mo mi yalan ko le ma internet stela suwo kono wole be ni online classes ba follow no nyaadi. Ni mo mi yalan imam laptop so wala smartphone ko kele mo stono. Ibe ni online classes ba follow no nyaadi ni coronavirus jamano ni contenting. Money min yalam ko fana iblo me ko ben ibe data sana nyaade comme ni data card I don't know what they call it the megabytes pour c'est la mono ni class online pour ya download no kara mo fana ibe la ko china no nyaade comme ko e la grading system because nyaaji be jam ma fana America jam before no jani coronavirus in Canada a grading system where if you are doing master's program you don't have A plus A minus B plus B or B minus then you have C plus then you know kajiduma. But some you make curriculum when you are following they change the grading system. You are following. Well, either course you fail or you pass the but then emphasize it whether A plus or B plus because you know more. It's so evaluation like you have direct one-to-one with current renewal.
Yeah.
Nika timo ko dila and nika ko min fo e ka understand no. E ka min fo ni online na mari. Modo tool mandia, modo nyal mandia, modo de ka sino lakling e tenkunje for mantaro 1 hour or 2 hours. Mboli be la ko jibe no nyaade kam da ka yirika. So imbe den ka men jibe je dunia mul man kanya bo ko man kanya ngene halal mul man kanya wala nyama. Nin ko sa online classes ke mul min yalan ko wala fanko anila haladiya nyanto man nyin kombeda ko sunandi wala nyin bulu kala makko ka sunandi wala ko be kala nyaade.
Yeah, that's an issue. Okay, we go to the next. I'm not sure if I put it on the screen. You should be able to see it. This one. Can you read it?
Yes, Madeline, Sunbits.
Yeah. Yeah. So what she was saying, right now it is extremely important that the Gambia retain all its natural resources within the country in order for the population to have access to food during the COVID-19 epidemic. Not even the European Union has been able to not even if we have been able to hold this but basically this is about Mustafa's topic. Why would we let fish meal factories, you know, to continue to extract a protein source, which is going to be very, very vital during this pandemic and after?
Well, that's quite important because Madeleine is coming from the food security perspective. We all know the number one food security source in the Gambia in terms of protein is fish. People can only afford to buy pelagic fish. How many households in the Gambia can afford to buy a meat boned? How many households can buy even beef steaks in the country? How many households in the Gambia can afford a chicken? This is what we need to think. So right now, the only source of protein that the Gambian people can afford is pelagic fish. How do we ensure if there's bumper harvest in the country, the government put in place strong infrastructure, strong network systems, strong market base, you know, distribution of fish that have been caught in coastal communities in the Gambia to be able to be distributed to other part of the country? How about people who are in other part of the country can have fish from coastal villages in the Gambia? We talk about state of emergency. We want to restrict the mobility of people as much as possible. But how do we ensure they have fish on their table? How do we ensure they're able to have their food items on their table? And how can we ensure we make them affordable for them? That is very important. And this is where the government will come up with programs. We can have ice trucks that are going to distribute fish from the landing site to distribution centers in the country. We can ensure that at least we make the fuel, you know, cost effective for these people who are going to do distribution. We can ensure we hire people who are going to do the distribution. We can ensure at least the cold stores in the Gambia are up to capacity, they're up to standard to be able to store fish for quite a number of days. Because you know it's a seasonal base. Today you can go for fishing, you have a bumper harvest. Tomorrow you can go, you have nothing absolutely. So at least during the losses, during the crisis time, the fish stocks in the country, the fishery centers can be able to provide the food need of the citizens. Because we need to look at things from three perspectives here. from hunger
Yeah.
perspective, from poverty perspective, and from looking at it from forced migration. If people in
Yeah.
urban region in Sierra are hungry down there, they don't have food, they don't have jobs, that's gonna trigger rural urban migration. They're gonna have
Yeah.
forced migration, they're gonna move from the area to come back to the country here. People who are poor, how are they gonna cope with state of emergency? If people are hungry at their homes, can they abide by the state of emergency laws or protocols? No.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Can you comment on the next question, which is my question is, who are the employees of these fish meal factories? Are they not Gambians? Why shouldn't they stay at home for their safety? That's from For the Cho.
Pardon?
That's for the Cho.
I'm not saying okay for the chore. Well, I think now they are like a learning curve. Yes, that is quite true because what for the chore is talking about the Bania Fasa and all of those stuff. This is what we are not trying to promote. As people who are fortunate enough to be able to distinguish between right and wrong. This is the main point in terms of the way politics is run in Africa, because we want to support people. Because I know Ahmed, I don't want to criticize this guy, because if I criticize him, I knew him, and then that's not gonna be something that's gonna go well with him. So the politicians, decision makers, people who are like holding key government positions, all of them come from homes. People who are talking, everybody come from home. And in Gambia, there's too much social cohesion. We have been living in harmony for quite a long time. But do we want to live blind eye, and we don't want to talk about reality? What is going to be our sense of life? We have to get that willingness to be able to criticize. We have to get that willingness to listen to constructive criticisms. And we have to look at things from that way of evaluating our own activities. What was my impact when I occupied this office? What kind of development do I brought? But if I want to look at it from my own relatives, or because I know somebody from the same village with me, or I know somebody from the same region with me, or this was my former classmate, or this is my friend's father, or this is my friend's uncle, there will be very people who are going to be biased.
Yeah.
So we want to
Thank you.
look at it from that barrier angle and forget about that one and think about, what is going to be my legacy? What is my impact in my own life? What were my own advocacy? What were my own objectives in life? And be able to at least institute real reforms in our country.
Yeah, thank you very much, Omar. Tomorrow, inshallah, we should have more time to continue. That will be mainly about environment, like COVID-19 and environment, the greenhouse emissions, and the closure of the hotel, what that means for our forests, because most of those taxi drivers or porters in the hotel, once their job is not is stopped, what they're going to take a cutlass and go into the forest, maybe start making charcoal and all that. So all those things, inshallah, tomorrow, if we get farmer, we should be talking about it. So Mbadu will come for Allah Baraka for your listening, and Baldan I'll say thank you so Mafanam the continual inshallah, and Omar will probably hear again, and somebody else might be farmer the continual fish meal malum minebekela update
Fish meal, sand mining, and also other issues. Yeah,
and other issues. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.